Hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? This your girl Tiffany here, live in effect. So today I am going to go live about the history of ancient Egypt or Egypt, Sudan, and Nubia. So I have a special guest that's from the continent, and I want to bring him on here. But before I get started, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share the channel. All right, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna discuss about the history of Egypt, Nubia, and Sudan, and we're gonna talk about the information that us over here in the West that we might have we might be misinformed about, or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the gentleman on, and he's gonna introduce himself.
Yeah,
Peace, brother. How you
thank you.
doing? Go ahead.
All good, all good. Thank you very much, Tiffany. Thank you. My name is Muhsin Najim. I'm originally from Nubia, and I'm half Nubian, half American. Thank you very
Oh,
much for having me over in your channel.
oh, okay. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Yes. So you're located right now in Nubia, correct?
Right now, I'm located in Egypt. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wow. All right. Wow. That's great. This is my first time really having somebody that's actually from the continent on this platform. Like, and you're probably one of the first person I had that's from the continent. you know, and I'm glad to
Thank
have
you.
you on here because I want to get into a discussion about Egypt and Sudan and Nubia history. And as far as like what's the accurate history, and how we might be misinformed here in the West, because we have people that study about ancient Egypt, and Nubia history over here. So it's a very popular thing, especially within the Black conscious community. So I'm glad that you're here because you can help bring accurate information, or information that we may have missed or something. So there's a lot of debates going back and forth about ancient Egypt, especially when they talk about the color of the skin of the Egyptian people. Were they black? Were they light skinned? Were they this, they, and the other? So, all right. So I have some questions for you. And if you can answer to the best of your ability, please do so. So let's go ahead and get started. So
All
I
right.
want to ask the first question: what is the similarity cultural practice do Egyptian and the Nubian people share?
All right. That's actually a very good question to start with. So, as we
Yes.
all know, ancient Egypt and Nubia, two civilizations along the Nile River. So they shared a really complex relationship and characterized by both cultural exchange and conflict, right? So that will actually take us into a conversation for about the religion, social structure, the art, and the architecture, and actually the writing that they had. So let me tell you about their religion was in Egypt. Religion in Egypt was central to Egyptian culture, involving pantheon of gods and goddesses such as Isis and Osiris. So all of us know one of those are one of the most famous gods that we know, right? So including of these gods, so it includes actually offering festivals and elaborate burial practices, right? So the thing is, what I like about the the Egyptian art and architecture that all of us know about, which is the Egyptians are renowned for their arts, including pyramids, temples, and tombs. Art was highly stylized and symbolic, often depicting gods, pharaohs, scenes of daily life, ensure like a successful afterlife. This is what they actually used to believe in, right? But the writing that they used to have were used for religious texts and monumental inscription. So while the simpler script was used for administrative, and everyday document. So this was like a way for them to connect with each other. So let me tell you about the Nubia. The Nubia kingdom were the Nubia kingdom was home to several powerful kingdoms, including back then Karma and Kush, which is one of those two are the most famous kingdoms. These kingdoms were highly centralized and often revealed Egypt in power and influenced Nubian kings as well. They adopted many Egyptian customs, but also maintained distinct culture practices. So that actually helped Nubia because Nubia was a crucial trade hub, if you understand. Like Nubia was very rich in resources, such as gold, ivory, and ebony as well. So this wealth facilitated extensive trade with Egypt and other regions, leading to blend of cultures and elements, right? But the thing is, the relationship between Egypt and Nubia, it actually included period of both war and cooperation. Nubians served as mercenaries in Egypt. So let me put it to you like in Egyptian army. And at the time they conquered and ruled Egypt. This is what they used to do. So they conquered and ruled Egypt most notably during the 25th dynasty, and the king and the Kush kings became the pharaohs of Egypt actually.
Wow. So you said Nubia once conquered Egypt at one time?
Yes,
And
they
now
did.
what? Okay, so what dynasty period are we speaking of? Do you know, or you're not sure?
That was on the 25th, on the
Oh, the
25th dynasty.
okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Now, see, that's the part I didn't know. To be honest with you, I haven't heard anything about Nubia conquering Egypt. All right. I want to kind of throw this question out there. What's the difference between kingdom? What's the difference between Nubia and Kush?
what's the difference between Nubia and Kush? All right, very
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
So let me put it to you that way.
Okay.
Nubia actually Nubians Nubia were actually all of them in one country. All right. So they decided to like to expand and separate. So when they separated, some of them went to Sudan and some of them went to Ethiopia and some of them stayed in Egypt. So that's why Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudanese, the Nubian people, they all look the same because all of them are Nubians. You understand? So they might change a little bit in some features just because of the environment and etc. So when the Nubian came in, when they came into Sudan, they actually found the kingdom of Kush was already there.
Okay. So the kingdom of Kush was already in the area of Sudan. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. So, and I was gonna ask this next question: what area is considered as Nubia?
So ancient Nubia, located in north northeastern Africa, extended along the Nile River from the first and upper Egypt to the confluence of the Blue and the White rivers, right near the present day that we have, which is that is exactly Khartoum in Sudan. If you hear about it,
Okay. 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 And then the next one is now what language was currently spoken in Egypt, Sudan, and Nubia in the past, and what language are they currently speaking now?
good one. So about the Nubians, this is actually tricky.
Okay.
Nubians back then, they used to speak their own language. So, like we said, they used to they didn't know how to share what they had to the world, so they created the arts and the architecture and the writing that we see right now, right? Nubia, all of them, they speak different language depending on the tribe. So as we know, like they have different tribes, and each tribe developed their own language.
Okay, so now that kind of leads me to the question of what tribes, what's the name of the, if you can name a few tribes in Nubia, what's the name of
And name some tribes. All
them?
right, so if I go back, I'm not sure actually to going back and renaming some of the tribes, but right now most of the Nubians they start like mixing. So we
Okay,
have that's why we have like the colored Nubians, and like you can't even though the language right now is just fading away, you know?
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
because of the mixing and the between Arab and Nubians, and like we said, like the Nubian they used to like it used to be a place for all other regions because Nubia was very rich with gold and silver and was very wealthy. So right now I'm not able to like provide you with all of the names.
okay, that's fine.
But yeah.
Okay, so so what about the language that the people in Sudan and Egypt spoke? Like, what language have they spoke in the past?
All right. So in Sudan, they have a language called Rutana. So the Rutana is the language that they developed their own, right? So like I said, back then, every tribe speaks a different language that they develop, and the Nubian they just translated it in through writing and arts that we see tonight. Egypt as well, they used to speak Arabic. Egypt was they used to speak Arabic, but the Nubian in Egypt they didn't speak Arabic.
Okay,
So right now, all of them they share the same language, which is the Arabic language. But when you
okay,
go back to the Nubians, because we still have Nubians in Aswan, this is a part of Egypt, and some parts of Sudan, they speak
okay,
their own language, and both of them are Nubians. But
okay.
the Nubians in Aswan and the Nubians in Sudan, they have different languages.
All right, all right. Now I think you had mentioned about the royal burial site, right? Um,
Mm.
yeah, can you elaborate more on that about the royal burial sites in these locations, in Sudan, Egypt? You know, the burial sites, the areas, like how? Okay, and I think you may have answered the question, but if not, I would like for you to answer it. How do they go about having celebration of the royal burial sites, and like what area are these locations at?
Can you elaborate more, please?
Okay, so the question about the royal burial sites, right?
Mm.
You know where they have the burials site, you know, like the grave site, the funerals or whatnot. Like where about in these areas can you find the burial sites? Where about in Sudan and Egypt and Nubia?
So about the burial sites, you mean like why did they build the pyramids, and what is the significant meaning behind them?
Yeah, the pyramids, and yeah, the pyramids, and also like where are the burial sites at, where where these areas are located.
All right. So about the pyramid site, right? Especially those at Giza, they held a very significant cultural, religious, and art and architectural importance, constructed as monumental tombs for pharaohs. these structures symbolize the Egyptians' beliefs about the afterlife. That's why actually, like, we still have the debate on why did they actually create these pyramids and what was the main reason for it. But one of the reasons that they have was their religious significance. So the pyramids were primarily royal tombs designed to facilitate the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. So that was like this is what they used to believe. So the pyramid's shape itself as though as a thought to represent the amount from which the ancient Egyptian believed the world was created. All right. So each pyramid was part of a larger complex that included temples and other structures. These complexes served both religious and administrative purposes, involving the rituals that ensured the pharaoh's transitions to the afterlife and his continuing to influence over the living the in the afterlife.
Okay, okay, wow. Actually, I have a book on that. It's called The Book of the Dead. I don't know if you ever heard that book, The Book of the Dead.
The
No.
Book of the Dead.
Yeah, because it goes into the funerary texts and like the prayers, the rituals, and stuff like that. It talks about the history behind it. It's very interesting that you have brought that up. So yeah, I was thinking about that book. Um,
Mm.
anyways, now I want to ask you a question. The language. So let's talk about Medu Neter for a moment, right? Medu Neter, the Coptic language, and the different language, the different language family. Um, so do you study the Medu Neter yourself? The Medu Neter language, which is like
The Maranam.
yeah, the Medu Neter. It's called Medu Neter, the ancient
Mm,
Egyptian language, like the hieroglyphs and all of that.
actually, unfortunately, no.
Okay, okay. Do you
But you
know
can
it?
like inform me about it. Like, what are they talk? What are they speaking about exactly?
Okay, okay. Do you know anything about the Coptic language?
Coptic language.
Yeah, the Coptic. Yeah. Do you know anything about Coptic?
Mm.
Because it's spoken. I know that it's spoken by those in Egypt. Particularly the Coptic Christians. No,
Mm.
not really.
Not really.
Okay, okay, okay. That's fine. Um, so now I know you can't really talk too much about government, right, in Egypt. As far can't you speak on the past government in ancient Nubia, Egypt, like how the government system was in the past, or you're not able to really do so?
Mm. How was the government shaped in the past? Like, what type of government did Egypt have in the past? Like
Yes,
in the pharaoh's time.
yes, yes.
Okay. So let me tell you that ancient Egypt government was actually theocratic theocratic monarchy. All right, centered
Okay,
around the pharaohs only. So the pharaohs who was considered both a divine and political leader. You understand? So the pharaoh widely absolute power over the land and its people. So the the pharaoh actually he was the leader and the government itself. So whatever he says, it just goes because there's no other person can go above that. No other people to try to consider. Okay, the pharaoh now he said this. Let's try to consider and speak about it. Is it going to be right or wrong or anything like that? It wasn't like that. actually back then. Like we have right now, the president is going to, if he's trying to say and give an order about something, okay, so he has to actually speak to his consultants, right? And then if they agree, then it happens. So back then it wasn't like that. So the pharaoh actually had the power over the land and its people, with governance and religion deeply intertwined. So the pharaoh was seen as a living god. So that's why no one was able to say anything against the pharaoh's word.
Hmm. Okay. 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 So basically, the pharaoh was like revered as, like you said, as a god, pretty much. I mean, just to pretty much understand, right?
Yes, so the ancient government, government was marked by a combination of centralized authority under the pharaoh. So it's kind of a little bit a complex system and significant religious influence over the people.
Okay.
But all it aimed at maintaining order and prosperity in the kingdom.
Okay. 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 Wow. So now let's get into the favorite conversation, the interesting conversation. Were the people of Egypt, Sudan, and Nubia, were they black, Arab, or mixed? Because it's an ongoing debate about who is black and who is not black, and who is Arab and who is not Arab. You know,
Mm,
it's a debate that's going on here in America in the Black conscious community. So,
mm.
can you tell us, are there black people in Egypt?
All right, let me let me put it to you this way: as
Yes.
long as Egypt is in Africa, they're Africans.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, the pharaohs and the people who built the pyramids, they were actually black, and they will
Okay.
still forever be black. But
Okay.
yes, they were black, and then actually the mixing started because, like I said, the place of Nubia where they were centered,
Hmm.
all right. So the other regions were able to come in because Nubia land was very rich. They used to
Okay.
have everything. They used to have the gold, the silver. They used to have they have the Nile River, which is the purest water that you can drink from, right? And like they used to have everything available in their countries. So other different regions used to come in, and when they came in, now the mixing starts and like that. So that's why right now we have like different colors. But we always go back to the origins of the people. They are actually black. Sudan is named after its people because they were black. Sudan, which is Sud, the land of the black.
Okay.
Sudan. Nubians were black. They were the ones who created or built the pyramids and all the most of the arts in Egypt and in Sudan, actually. So that's why you see the noses and the arts and like that. It's African nose.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
and now they became light skins and they from there, because of the mixing and actually the conquering that happened in Egypt. So that's why most of the Egyptians can seem or can look like Europeans or and Arab.
okay. So now here's another thing that's very common because there's people, especially those from Egypt, right? With the light skinned Egyptian, you know, brothers and sisters, the light skinned ones, the ones that we might think they look like they Arab or something. they they've been coming for the black people here in America. saying, "Oh, you claiming our history. You taking away our historical information and trying to make it yours." And
Mm,
the real Egyptian people, they was not dark skinned people. They were not, everybody wasn't dark skinned. So how dare y'all say that, or how dare you guys say that we are not Egyptian, or we're not African because we're not dark skinned. And then there was a movie coming out. I know you heard about the Cleopatra movie, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that was the Cleopatra movie that came out, and the actress, she, pretty dark skinned woman, well, a little darker than me. She's a little darker than me, and there was a big uproar about the movie.
Mm,
Over there, in Egypt. They're like, "Oh no, this is not right. There's no way. How dare you? How can they do that? This doesn't look right. This is not accurate. She Cleopatra was not a dark skinned woman. Where did you get this woman from?" But
mm,
here's the interesting part about it. There was a movie. There was another movie prior to that about Cleopatra, and it was played by a person that happened to be a European origin. Now, not too many people said anything about that, right? But when this movie came out, it happened to be a dark skinned woman, a black woman. That's when the uproar came about.
mm,
From Egypt, they were saying, "Oh no, there's no way. How you guys gonna do that? These people taking our information." And I know they have some type of attitude towards people from Nubia. Why is
mm.
that?
All right. So let me put it to you this way.
Okay,
Until now, what's happening right now, like they're trying to make they're trying to make people think that Egyptians a long time ago, which is the Nubians, they were light skinned, and then they became dark because of the
okay,
weather around and the environment and so on. But it was actually the opposite. They were pure black, all right, and from there, then they became light because of the mixing. And we know the conquer of Napoleon, and then they came also to Sudan, and like all that was just a big mix that happened, right? But also they're trying to trick the world, like what's happened in the movie as well. Like, let me try to put it to you in a way.
okay. Take your time.
It's all just manipulation. All right.
Okay,
Yeah. So you will so people can keep on being in a debate of what's real and what's fake. You understand? Because we still have people that their mind is still thinking like, oh, back then we were where Egyptians were actually Arab, and actually this and actually that. You understand? They're trying to take the colored part actually out of Egypt.
okay,
But when you come to Egypt, you go to Aswan and then you come to Cairo, which is Giza, you can find huge difference. Huge difference. Just by staying around the people in Aswan, you can tell like now these are the real Egyptians. Now, you understand? When you come here, the real the Egyptians here that we have are not the original Egyptians. You understand?
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, wow, wow, because it's a lot of conflict, and I was like, well, goodness gracious. And then it seemed like, you know, the brothers, sisters over there, they don't get a lot of representation in the media, in the spotlight,
Mm,
because when we think of the Egyptian, like you say, it's the ones that are lighter than you. So we see those individuals, but we don't see everybody else, because it's
mm,
like everybody else is pushed to the back.
mm,
So, yeah, so, I wanted to talk a little bit about racism, because racism is a common thing. It's a
Mm,
global thing. Um, what? Let's just talk. You as a brother that's over there,
yeah.
how do you go about dealing with racism personally?
Let me tell you that actually in Egypt and Sudan, there's no a lot, there's not, you can't find a lot of racism that happens here in Egypt and Sudan because both of them they think Sudan and Egypt. Okay, Sudan and Egypt a long time ago it was a one country and then it separated.
Mm,
So Sudanese coming to Egypt and Egyptian comes they come to Sudan. They're like, welcome to your land.
okay.
Yeah. So the only racism that you can find, which is they thinking that back Egypt is an Arab country in Africa.
Mm,
You understand? So this
yeah.
is the debate here. No,
Oh,
we're not. No, we are, and like this. You understand? But
okay.
if you sit with the people in Uswan and then you sit with the people are from here, Giza, you're going to have two different stories.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But as long as Egypt is in Africa, they're Africans, and no other story can make sense. Even though
Okay.
if they try to make sense.
Okay. All right. Now I wanted to ask you this one last question. You did answer it earlier about the relationship between the Egyptian, the Sudanese, and the Nubian people. I was gonna ask you, do you know anything about the Levant region? Like, what is like kind of known as the Mediterranean area and the relationship from the Mediterranean area with the Egyptian and people in Sudan?
Mm. So yeah, so the Levant region was complex and multi-phase, shaped by centuries of interactions and including trade, warfares, diplomacy, and cultural exchange. All right, Egypt, with its strategic position at the crossroad of Africa and Near East, had significant influence over the Nubia and the Levant. The Egyptians engaged in trade with Nubia and exchanging goods such as like gold, ivory, and exotic animals. They also they also conducted military campaigns into Nubia at the time, establishing control over the region. So while other periods saw Nubian kingdoms exerting their independencies and even conquering parts of Egypt. In the Levant region, Egypt's influence was similarly felt. Egyptian pharaohs extended their authority into a place called Canaan and Syria, actually.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
through military conquest and diplomatic alliances. The Levant served as virtual trade route, connecting Egypt with the other regions, which is was named. Let me try to remember the name. Mesopotamia. Yes, Mesopotamia and
Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, Mesopotamia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So what about when the Romans and Greeks came into those regions?
the Romans and Greeks
Yes.
when they came to Nubia in Egypt.
Yes.
Like back then, there was no Islam, but it was just Christianity. So there
Right.
were a lot of war. back then.
Mhm.
Yeah, they tried to conquer part of Egypt and part of Nubia. Somehow they succeeded in doing part of it, but later on they created a good relationship between each other, and that's how like most of the mixing that we have here in Egypt and part of Sudan also like they're mixed. So that's why you can tell like we have the light skins and they look actually some of them to look Europeans.
Mm, okay. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. That's really interesting. Wow. That's interesting. Hopefully one day I'll get an opportunity to come to Egypt and visit.
Mm.
Yeah, I want to come to I want to come and visit the pyramids. Learn about the
Mm,
scripts, and just interact with the local people. There was a
mm.
sister actually. She's in this chat. She just came back from Egypt not too long ago, and she basically told me how beautiful it was. So, now your background, you're Muslim, correct?
Yes.
Okay, 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 okay. So you're Muslim. All right. So the Islamic culture is pretty dominant over there in Egypt, correct?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
100%. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. Wow. All right, wow. And now there's some type of, I don't know what it's called. Is because I don't know what, like, are you a Sunni Muslim or you're not Sunni?
I'm actually I understand. You mean the like
Like,
we
are you an
have
Orthodox Muslim? Yeah, are you under the Sunni Islamic practice or are you like a Sufi Muslim? No.
mm. So I'm a Sunni.
Okay, you're a
We have the
Sunni.
Sunni, we have the Shia Muslim, we have the like these are all just different categories that we have in Islam. But yeah, I belong to the Sunni Muslims.
Okay, okay. Because I was gonna ask you about it was some type of it's like some type of celebration they celebrate
Mm.
in the Islamic community up there in Egypt. I can't think of the name of it. I think it started with a Z. It starts with a Z. I think maybe I have to look up the name. Um, if I could find a name, let me see. Maybe I can find it.
With a Z. You mean like a celebration that happens for Hassan and Hussein
I I think so. I
when
think
people
so.
start
I
beating
know
each
it's like
their backs?
I don't know if they start beating it, but I know they use instruments and they dance. They do some type of dance up there.
Mm. Like in Egypt, they have a lot of celebrations. They have a lot of celebrations here.
Okay.
Yeah, it starts
Okay.
with a Z.
I think it starts
Mm.
with a Z. I could be wrong. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Celebration. Let me see if I can find the name of it. Cause I remember coming across this information and I thought it was pretty interesting. Maybe not. Maybe I just have to look for it later. I have to look for it, but yeah, I know they have like a drumming. It's like they have a drumming circle, and they chant or sing or
Mm.
something. Yeah, I know it's like within the Islamic community, with the Muslim community up there. I don't know if it's like a little small community or something, but
All right. So what they do is like it's a small community. They hit the drums and like everyone start to dance and they enjoy the time.
yeah.
All right. But mostly this happens in they call it afrah.
I- Is that what it called? Afra? You say Afra?
Afrah, like in the afrah times, which is like either wedding or a celebration of something that they have. They do they do the drums, and they bring the dancers, and everyone in the street stop. They literally stop what they're doing, and everyone in the streets just start to dance with them. And it's actually really amazing. Actually, really nice. It's very enjoyable to watch.
Okay, okay. I think you might be right. I think it's the Afra. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, yeah, maybe. Or I know they call themselves the Afra people.
Afrah? No, no, no.
No, 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 no.
Afrah is like it's like a wedding. Either it's a wedding, all right, or it's a celebration of something like it's unique. It's unique for them. Then they start to
Okay,
celebrate, and then they bring the drums.
okay, 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 okay. Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. I have to look more into that because I remember I came across the information about that. So yeah, I just could never get the name, but I just have
Mm,
to check more into it. Wow, that's very
yeah,
interesting. So,
yeah.
what do you want to say to the people in the West, especially to the black community out here in America?
Mm.
What would you like to say? What is your last thought that you want to say to the black community here in America, in the West?
I would say that come and explore Egypt, the origin of Egypt. Come explore the culture. Come enjoy the time, and learn about Nubian culture. It's actually really, really fascinating. It's really amazing how they used to have their unique their unique ideas and unique thoughts that they had, and the mentality of life. They saw life completely different. You understand? So I am 100% sure if all the black people come by to Nubia and 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 Egypt, Sudan, the culture part, because I know black people, they all of us enjoy culture. All of us enjoy
Oh,
cultural food. All of
yeah.
us, when it comes to food
Oh, yes, yes,
and the
yes,
clothing, yeah,
yes.
and the weddings and the vibes, it's really, really nice. It's really, really enjoyable. They will be missing a lot if they don't come and explore what we have here.
Okay, yeah, because I would love to come out there. It just from the looks of it, it just looks like a place to just have a vacation, and
True.
just relax and enjoy the serenity and the beauty of it. You just enjoy the beauty. Especially at nighttime, it
Mm,
looks so beautiful.
mm,
It looks so beautiful at
true.
nighttime. I'm like, wow.
True.
I'm like, wow. I need to take a trip to Africa. I need to go to Egypt and
Yeah.
Sudan. Yeah, I need to go there. I need to try the food. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really need to try the dish because I love trying different dish. One of my favorite is Ethiopian dish. I love Ethiopian food.
Mm,
Yes, I have a thing for
mm,
Ethiopian
mm,
food.
mm.
I
When it
love
comes
it.
to Ethiopian food,
Yes,
mm.
yes,
You
and
go
we have a
crazy
lot
on that.
of
Yeah.
restaurants out here in America, so we have a lot of them, and they food are it's absolutely delicious. But I
Mm.
would love to come to Egypt. I would just love to just be in that environment, but I would have to get used to being in the desert. Cause y'all over there in the desert, and it's I don't know, it's pretty hot over there. In
It
that
is,
desert light, it's pretty hot. So I have to get used to that.
especially now in the summer.
Yeah. Oh, what's the
Hey.
temperature out there?
All right, now it's like almost 45, almost 45,
45.
and it's hot. It's crazy. 45 degrees. Yeah.
It's 45 degrees,
Yeah.
and it's hot.
Almost 45. So it's like 43, 40, 44, 42, like this, and it's very hot. Very
Oh,
hot. Yeah.
oh, oh, oh! Wow, wow! Y'all don't get any rain out there. There's no rain coming through. No
The
nothing.
rain,
No.
the rain season actually comes with winter. So when it's
Oh,
winter, the rain comes.
oh, that's when it starts raining. But it's
Yeah.
very seldom. It's not. You don't get it very often, right?
Yeah, we don't get it very often, but when it comes, it's like it's very nice. The weather is very nice. Yeah, the trees, the nature. It's. I'm not able to explain it until you come and see it. You will know the difference.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, well, I will put that on my bucket list for a vacation. Definitely, I will put that on my bucket list for a vacation. I mean, I always wanted to get an opportunity to go back to the motherland. Um,
Mm,
Especially visiting Central West Africa, where the transatlantic slave trade took place. I really
mm,
want to I really want to go over there in that area just to learn about the history, the historical sites or whatnot. But and also just travel to other parts of the continent as well. It just seems so fascinating, and Africa does not get enough shine like all other places.
true.
Africa does not, and does not gain enough recognition, especially when it comes to vacation spots.
Mm,
Africa is on that top of the list. Everywhere else
mm.
is except for Africa. And
That's the sad part because Africa, we like there's if you are a person who really enjoys nature and culture and different languages and different cultural foods, Africa is the best place for you. Like there's a lot of places that you can learn and you can like learn different mentalities and perspectives in life. Like this is the what people are missing, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, I just want to throw this question out about music. What type of music do you guys have? I know rap music is one of them, right?
Yeah. Like okay, so the Nubians they have their own music, right? And the Sudanese they have their own music, which is completely different. And then the Egyptian part they have their own music. So Egypt they listen to Arabic music, which is they have their Arabic songs, Egyptian, which is but it's Egyptian, okay? And the Nubians they have the drums. They hit drums. They have their like certain dancing that they do, which is really amazing. They jump up and down. They move in a very unique way. In Sudan, they have rap and like they have in Sudan they have a lot of different type of music. Like they have the music for the culture music. They have the culture music, and then they have the rap, and then they have something like for teenagers that they have. Yeah, it's just specifically for, for teenagers.
Oh, for
Yeah,
teenagers. Huh? Oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, I know you guys enjoy the entertainment and listen to American rap music, right?
yeah, we do.
Oh boy, yeah. We have that type of influence all over the world.
Mm, America has that strong influence.
Yeah. So what about
Yeah,
Afrobeat? Do you guys listen to Afrobeat or what's it called?
yeah,
Piano? If I'm saying it
yeah.
right.
I'm a piano, African beats. Like here, they're very familiar with Africans. They're very familiar with African music. Everybody loves African music here.
Oh yeah.
Most the Sudanese they love them. The Nubians they like the sound of the beat. They
Okay.
like the sound of the beat. Like you understand. But in Egypt here, they're mostly into their culture more. In here, like in Cairo. They like
Oh,
the only the Egyptian music, the Arab music, Arabic Egyptian music.
okay. 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 Wow. Wow.
Yeah, but it has a very strong influence.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah.
They be going crazy on Born a Boy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Burn the Boy, Tim's,
Mm.
what's the gentleman name? Davio, if DeVito, I think that's his name.
Ah, Davido. Yeah,
And the other young man that did the song with Tim's, it's called Essence. Remember the song Essence?
Essence.
Yes,
Wizkid. Wizkid.
yeah, Wizkid, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they blowing up. They blowing up out here in America with Afro beats, big time. They really is.
Mm.
They're doing their thing.
See?
I give them credit. And then I like another thing. What her name is T.Y. Savage. I think that's her name, T.Y. Savage.
T.Y. Savage?
Yeah, T.Y. or T.Y. Savage. Let me see what's the young lady's name. I might be mispronouncing her name. Yeah, her name is T.Y. Savage. Yeah, she's Nigerian. She's from the same place where Tim is from.
Mm.
Yeah,
T.Y. Savage.
yeah,
I will
T.Y.
listen
Yeah,
to her. I will listen to her. I'll look it up.
yeah. Wow. Do you guys like reggae?
From the mostly in Sudan, but not in Egypt.
Okay, okay, okay,
They
okay, okay.
love reggae. Like I have a
Oh,
lot of friends. They love reggae. They also have the dreadlocks. Like they consume and they take all the culture that reggae have, the spirituality, the mentality, and reggae culture is really nice, very beautiful. It's very spiritual. It's all about the connection, and not just the connection of the music, but the connection with nature and the world and the earth and the people. That's what actually more important for them. That's why, and when you understand the culture, you can really enjoy the music. You
okay.
understand? So
Yeah.
I actually learned about the reggae music in Sudan. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Like what you have in Sudan, one of the reggae singers. His name Wadda Zen. He's a Sudanese reggae singer.
For real? And his name
Yeah,
what the Zen?
Wadda Zen. Yes.
What the Zen? Okay, what the Zen?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's something I have to look him up.
He's really
Wow.
good. He sings in Arabic, but the beats are in a reggae rhythm.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. This was an amazing conversation. I
Mm,
appreciate you being on here. I really
thank
do.
you. Thank you.
Taking time out your busy schedule. I know our time differences can be conflicting and
Mm,
whatnot, but I'm glad that you was able to come here. I'm glad that you made it, and thank you for answering the questions. Um,
thank you.
to the best of your ability, to the best of your knowledge, and hopefully one day we could reconnect soon.
Very
Yes,
soon. Thank you. We're really looking forward. Really looking forward. Thank you very much, Tiffany. It was really nice having this conversation with you, and
yeah,
looking forward to have also more conversations and more discussions about Nubia and different cultures.
yes. And I'm glad that you're able. I'm glad that I was able to get somebody from the continent that's in the area that can talk about the history of Egypt and Sudan
Mm,
and Nubia. I'm glad that I was able to do that because very often we don't when we talk about these historical information, we don't get it from the people from the continent. So we get it from the
mm,
people who visit the continent or people over here in the West that study the information. So I'm glad that I was able
mm.
to have someone who actually from the area and that lives in the area that can actually speak on this. So
Yeah,
I
thank you.
it's a beautiful thing. I really like that. And I think that if we can get more and more brothers and sisters from Egypt or Sudan and Nubia to have this type of dialogue, I think it will
Mm,
bring about more clarity and understanding about the
mm,
history instead of the misinformation.
mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
looking forward for that. And actually, that's we're looking forward that will can it can happen anytime soon. And thank you again,
All right.
Tiffany. And we hope like our message will reach the world and the Black people in America.
Okay. All right. All right then. Well, that's all we have, everyone. Thank you guys in the chat for tuning in. And for those of you that are watching, if you're just coming in, make sure you watch this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And until next time, peace.
Peace.
All right.
Thank you.
All right then. All right. All right, brother.